We start off tonight with breaking news out of South Portland, where police have declared an unlawful assembly outside the ICE facility. This is a live look at the street outside the building, which has been closed off. Our crew was on scene when local and state police arrived to disperse the crowd. According to the Police Bureau's alert messages at this facility, the unlawful assembly was declared due to, quote, criminal activity. It also warned people that failure to leave could subject them to citation or arrest, and munitions and physical force may be used. And we did witness at least one person being detained by Portland police. We'll continue to follow this for further developments. Earlier today, we saw the latest in a series of large-scale protests against the federal government. Among the largest in our area was right here in Portland. But there were several others organized today, including across the river in Vancouver. Indivisible Greater Vancouver tells us protesters nearly filled up Marshall Park, which police estimate can hold more than 10,000 people. And in Salem, police estimate about 5,000 people took part in a rally there. One person was treated for a fall, but otherwise no one was hurt and there were no arrests. RJ Coulter was at one of the protests here in Portland and has more on why people decided to take part.
Tens of thousands of protesters flooded Waterfront Park and NATO Parkway in downtown Portland Saturday as part of the latest No Kings protest.
Seeing injustice being just a part of our daily lives is a hard thing.
Protesters marched up and over the steel bridge, and on the way, multiple spots filled with music and banners hanging from the Morrison Bridge. Maxine Fuchsen with Jewish Voice for Peace tells us what she has been most concerned by since the last No Kings protest.
Killing two protesters, detaining and deporting families with children, separating families, and bombing a school in Iran, a girls' school, killing 170 plus children and denying it. That is absolutely shocking.
DHS and ICE still very much the biggest concern we heard from protesters, including Sage, a therapist.
I see this as an everyday concern for a lot of my clients and a lot of my patients. I have undocumented, I have a lot of minority populations, and I see a number one concern where am I going to see them the next week? Are they going to show up? They're concerned about if people are being taken.
Which is why Sage and her friend Charlie came out to the rally.
As a descendant of an immigrant, I think it's important that we protect our people. My ancestors, my grandmother came here to fight for me to give me a chance to have a better life. And so I think it's important that I stand up and protect them as well and use my voice.
We also heard from Quincy, a first-time rally goer who was encouraged by the turnout Saturday.
Really excited to get involved and see, the community out here supporting, a lot of big initiatives and want to see a lot of big changes happen in our country and things that people are happy about. So
it gives me faith that we're not so lost, that there is a better tomorrow. And I think it's important that we hold on to that and hold on to the communities that are surrounding us.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
We believe that no one is a king. Especially not here in Oregon and not in the United States of America. Am I right?
Among the local protesters and speakers at rallies today were leaders representing Oregon at the federal, state, and local level. That includes Governor Tina Kotek, who spoke outside the Portland Expo Center. And in Gresham, we caught up with U.S. Senator Ron Wyden, who joined demonstrators there. He says while he's pushing back on the administration at the federal level, he still believes change starts with grassroots movements.
I think it's incredibly good. Gas is almost $6 at this point, and we got to have some people who are going to stand up for the typical citizen.
We have a constitutional right to be here. And so we're using it because the people in power are making decisions that are affecting our daily lives. Gas prices are through the roof. We've got grocery prices going up and down. I know people who are losing their jobs.
And it wasn't limited to the Portland Metro or Vancouver. Our producer here at KGW, Andrea, sent us this video showing protesters marching in Cannon Beach. One organizing group, Cannon Beach Indivisible, says they hold demonstrations every Saturday.
It's a way to really translate our anger and confusion into something that's positive, to love our neighbors and serve them well.
More than 3,000 demonstrations were planned in all 50 states in the third round of No Kings protests since President Trump took office last year. That includes further north in Washington and Seattle's Capitol Hill. Organizers for the nationwide protest are predicting it will be the single largest nonviolent day of action in American history. They estimate millions hit the streets from coast to coast and beyond, protesting the Trump administration and its policies, among them immigration enforcement and the war in Iran. People also rallying around the world, like in London.
What are your views on America at this moment in time?
A sad, sad story.
The White House dismissed today's protest, saying in a statement, the only people who care about these Trump derangement therapy sessions are the reporters who are paid to cover them. Stay with KGW for all the coverage of the No Kings protest this weekend. Look for the latest anytime on the KGW app or at kgw.com or streaming on KGW+. All right, let's take a live look outside right now where we had a beautiful Saturday afternoon as temperatures warmed into the 60s in the metro this afternoon. Corey Johnson is joining us tonight with more on how we're going to wrap up the weekend. Hi, Corey.
Hey, John, good evening. Honestly, we had a beautiful day across our area and it's turning into a nice night overall. Partly cloudy. I want to start with our Salem sky camera. You can see the beautiful cherry blossoms still shining underneath those lights there. 46 degrees and a nice calm wind. Our temperatures right now sitting in the upper 40s. They will bump to the low 40s by the time we get to this evening, but across our area, still a comfortable night even now at 11:51 right now in the Dows. 49 in Portland. Looks like 46 in Kelso, mid-40s also near the coast. Good evening to you in Astoria, 44 degrees where you are. A Rose City sky camera, a busy evening for many out there. It seems 49 degrees. Over out in the Dows right now, 51. As we get throughout the rest of the evening, as I mentioned, bumping into the low 40s overall, so not going to see frost overnight, but cloud cover definitely increasing as we kick off our Sunday. That's because we have a system making its way in off the coast that will produce some light rain as we kick off a new week. I have the timing of that coming up.
All right, Corey, thanks so much. We'll see you later in the show. New at 11 tonight, Portland police are investigating what appears to be a deadly shooting in the Sunderland neighborhood. Officers were called shortly before midnight last night at the Plaid Pantry at Northeast Columbia and 60th. There they found a man who was pronounced dead on scene with what they believe is a gunshot wound. Police ask any witnesses with information to reach out. A vigil was held this evening for a longtime Beaverton resident who died just months after he was detained and deported by ICE. Organizers also say the vigil is a call to action to protect immigrant families from ICE overreach.
I have my good days and I have my bad days.
It's been a challenging few months for Eric Martin San Juan. His father, Paulino Martin San Pedro, was seized by ICE agents in November. Despite living in Beaverton for 3 decades, he was deported to Mexico. In February, the 53-year-old died after a month-long battle with pneumonia.
I think today means a lot that I'm able to celebrate my father, celebrate his life.
At a Beaverton park on Saturday evening, family, friends, and supporters came together to remember a man known for his selflessness and generosity. Martin San Juan says the support his family has received has been encouraging, even though some in attendance on Saturday had never met his father.
It's really cool. It's really cool because the majority of the people that are here, it's either I've never met or somehow resonated with the story of my dad.
Another goal of the vigil, to show solidarity with other families that are going through similar ordeals.
But this is happening to thousands of individuals every day, and some don't have the spotlight. So I just want to share the spotlight.
A bittersweet evening for a son who wants his father to be remembered for the joy he brought to the world.
I don't expect people to understand me. I don't expect people to know what I'm going through. But I love my father, and I'm doing everything in my power to honor him the best way that I can.